Hi and welcome to our program. Today we're going to learn more about the dark creatures of Christmas. So let's talk to Matt Kemp from Mosaik Museum about ancient European Christmas myths and these mysterious creatures. Follow me.
Now, moving on, this is, by the way, Krampus's staff.
Of course he has a stick.
Yeah, of course he has. And he has this, antler that he also uses. He had meat hooks and everything. The more gruely and ghastly you can think of, the better it is for Krampus.
Oh my God.
This next one is really special. It's a version, an old version of the Finnish Father Christmas.
Okay.
In Finland, they have their Father Christmas is called Julens. Mm-hmm. And Julens is actually very much like our Father Christmas or Saint Nicholas, but if you go further north, further north to Lapland, then you will find that he's a bit of another character. Actually, he's a demon. Actually, a demon, either reindeer or goat, an animal demon or spirit that possesses a human around Christmas time.
Okay.
And but then the human side kind of takes over, and the human within this beast, or were-goat, or were-reindeer, wants to go home at Christmas, so he dresses up like a human.
Okay.
So it's a human being possessed that wants to go back to being human for this night. And he travels around, also bringing gifts, which is an add-on from later, but earlier you had to please him with gifts and food, and so that he wouldn't turn back into a demon within your tent or house or where you were living. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to please Julens, and he's surrounded by demons, smaller demons. We call them demons. They are actually animal spirits, but they're not always nice.
Mm.
And that's Julens, a very strange figure with a lot of complexity and gnarly bits in there.
And it's not so much related to children than this one.
Well, not the punishment of children or anything like that, but he still is a friend of the children, or he tries to be, and the children have to be nice to him, of course, so that he doesn't turn into this demon creature. Yeah?
Yeah.
Moving on, we have this thing. We haven't got the whole costume here, but this is from Schnabelperchten, die rausige Schnabelperchten, which is also from Germany, Bohemia, and Austria. She's a bird-like creature that comes around the 6th of January to check that your house is clean, which may not sound that scary, but your house has to be clean so that she can chase away the bad spirits. If it's not clean, she has a long beak, And she walks around. It's often men playing her when she's used in like active folklorism. And she has a paper beak and a scarf around her, and she goes around saying click, 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 or ek, 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 or something like that. But if the house is not clean, then you're not keeping up, you're not holding up all the things that you should be holding up in these dark months. If it's not clean, she takes her scissors, cuts you open, and sweeps all the dust into your body, and then sews you back up, and then you can sit there and rot. That's her thing. Yeah, so she's a kind of bird-like creature that's actually, strangely enough, connected to Lucia and Lucy and that whole thing of having a nice home during the winter, and also the cleaning up and making sure that that the house is clean and presentable, so that you don't slack off, because you have to keep it up even though it's so dark outside. Yeah. So she's weird bird-like creature. She's still used in Raurik today, comes around, and then when she's been to all the houses, looked after everything is nice and clean, then they go to the Wirtshaus or to the Gasthaus, and then they drink beer all the time. So there will be these maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 bird-like creatures sitting at the bar drinking beer. Yeah,
isn't it a bit weird how there are so many creatures that focus on the cleanliness?
The cleanliness? Well, yes and no. You can't just slack off during winter. Even though it's dark, even though there's not much to do, you still have to be active. You still have to have this some kind of system to make everything go right. Because if you don't, then other things might go wrong, and you could neglect your livestock, or maybe you would run out of food. You have to have everything ready and available. Yeah. Yeah. This is the crown of Lucia. This is the hat of Dead Moroz, Father Frost. Okay. Yeah. And then I can't really show you because he's in for maintenance. Okay. Can't really show you Julebukken. He's a goat, and he's a Danish folkloristic thing, actually quite recent in history. It is customary in Denmark to make these small goats of straw with a red ribbon around them. But that's actually not exactly how the story goes. Just actually a lot like Julebukken, he is a goat and he's a demon. And the person who puts on the costume turns into this goat-like demon. And he travels around. He would have done that from like 1500s and up to late 1800s, maybe even later some places. He goes around to holiday parties, and he breaks in, just comes storming in, and makes a mess of everything. Rolling around, grabbing the girls, hitting the boys, and actually being an obnoxious, obtruse creature. But you don't dare do anything to him. If you want to appease him, then you need to give him raisins or cake or schnapps or something like that. It's very important. Get him drunk, preferably so drunk that he falls over, passes out, so you won't have that problem. Then you just throw him out into the street and everything's good.
And then he cannot come back again.
Well, if he wakes up, he might come back again. So hopefully it doesn't, because the thing about Julebukken is that he knows everyone's secrets. Okay. This is before, of course, Facebook and Twitter and everything. So all the gossip in the city, the person putting on the Julebukken dress Well, he knows all them, and when he's in that dress, he's allowed to speak them, to say them to people in public, which is really, really, really bad if you've been sleeping with the neighbor's, I don't know, farmhand or something like that, and you don't want that out. Then give him gifts. So he's really terrifying in a more social controlling way, but also a drunk beast. Then there are stories about a girl following julebogen to see who was inside it, to who this person was. But they found her in a barn the next day, just ripped apart, murdered brutally. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
And
it's a secret.
even though you know who's in the costume, you can't say, and you can't tell, and you can't hold what they do as julebogen against them because they are possessed. They are another creature.
Okay. And so just anybody can just take the coat?
Well, yeah, well, yes and no. I think most of the towns and or parts of cities, they had their own, and they kind of knew who it was, and they had their own territory, so to speak. So there was some kind of organization behind it, but not a lot. It would come as a surprise if you're holding these Christmas parties and that beast comes in. Yeah, and often also to taunt the high profiles or the high society people to so that they would get knocked down a bit.
Yeah, it kind of makes everybody on the same level because everybody has secrets. Yeah. And this is also from...
This is the last one. This is our oldest one. This is from, I can't show you really, this is from Pashta, which is one of the oldest folkloristic Yuletide time creatures. Mainly from Poland and Czechia and Eastern Europe. She is a two-folded character or creature. If you see her, she's often at bogs or at the city well or something like that. If you see her and you will see firstly bright and shiny light-bringing young virgin. I don't know if she's a virgin. I don't know how you can see that, but a blonde lady at least, very beautiful. And if you dare, you can go up to her. If you do so, she will show you if you are really a kind and good, benevolent person, or you are actually a bad person. So that's a risk to take.
Yeah, and how does she do that?
Well, I don't know how she does it because she's magic, I guess. She can just sense it. And if you're a good person, then she will reward you with a silver coin, and which is a very good thing. And you will know that you are blessed by this strange fertility creature. If you are not, she will turn into a rotten old hag, kind of like this. And she will take out her knife and she will slice you open, fill your insides with straw and stones, and then she will dump you either into a lake or into the well. So you had to be kind of certain that you were a good person if you walked up to her, or that she catches your eye. That's the same thing. Yeah. So she's really, 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 really beautiful young lady who can turn really nasty.
Yeah, that escalated very quickly.
Yeah. She's very judgmental in that way, you could say, yeah.
Yeah. And this is the same from that one?
From which one?
The barrel thingy?
Oh yeah, we forgot that one. That's the last one then. This is the backpack of Knecht Ruprecht. Knecht Ruprecht is a northern western German creature, also known as whip or lashing father, Father Lashes. He accompanies Saint Nick around on Christmas Day, when Saint Nicholas goes around to see if the children have been bad or good. He is sort of Father Christmas' right-hand man who takes care of all the naughty kids.
Okay.
He's a dark figure. Legend has it that he is punished to forever go around and with Father Christmas because he once tried to eat some children.
And so his punishment is to be all the time under
all the time looking
of...
after these, but he can't eat them anymore. What he does is something quite different. It's also a bit of, like with Julebogen, there's a bit of this social corrective thing. Because he comes around with Father Christmas and then he asks you, as a child, to recite Bible verses or Psalms. Mm-hmm. And if you do it, good, then Saint Nick will give you some candy or a gift. If you can't do it, well, then you will either get lashes or get whipped by Knecht Ruprecht, or if you're really bad at it, which is quite a nice distinctiveness, that if you're really bad at it, then he will not necessarily whip you or beat you with his carpet beater. He will take an ash pouch, a pouch full of ash and coals. He also is the one who gives coals to the naughty children. Mm-hmm. This pouch full of ashes, he will then hit the child with it so that it leaves a mark on their bright, shiny new Christmas clothes. Okay. So when they go to church the next day, everyone can see that that child did not know his Bible verses or his Psalms. So it's really a social punishment that is, he's a nasty figure. And here at the museum, if you come on these Saturdays, you can see him as a tall, lanky, dark man walking around, looking down at everyone. He's really judgmental type. One of my favorites, actually, because he's so classically evil.
Yeah. And all these things are so scary and a bit extreme, let's say. How do children react to this usually?
Well, here at the museum, some children are scared and don't want to venture into our exhibitions alone. But mainly they're very brave. The story is that the veil between the worlds of the creatures and our world is very thin this time of year because this is where they used to come out. Mm-hmm. And because of all our old stuff here, all our relics and things, they are drawn to this museum. We have some guardians walking around. Let me just get one of these. We have the creatures. The creatures' guardians are walking around in the exhibitions and they know everything about one or two creatures.
Okay.
So they will guide you in how to look at them because you can't touch them. And
you can't either interact directly?
No, they are just here visiting and seeing through the veil. If you stand very still, they might notice you. Because if you're very, very quiet, they may see you, but often they don't. But these guardians of the creatures walk around with these lanterns. They know everything about them. They study them, and you can ask them questions, and they will tell you stories about the creatures. Yeah. So they're there to guide the audience into this fantastic realm that we create each Saturday here. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much for the explanation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us. We hope you enjoyed this Dark Creatures of Christmas explanation as much as we did. See you next time.
Thank you.